Craig McKee here, ABC 15, here with retired Army Major Mike Lyons, also military analyst now in your post-military career. Thank you for spending some time with me right now. Um, Obviously, in the past few weeks, we've seen a buildup, a military buildup. We've seen, if you're anywhere on social media or watching the news, you've seen military aircraft leaving the United States, repositioning overseas. Those of us who served in the military, both, of course, you and I, in different components and areas, we know what movements look like when it comes to any type of a military force. What are we really looking at? What kind of perspective can you give on the buildup here in the Middle East with what we're seeing with aircraft and ships all repositioning into the Middle East?
Well, I think a couple of things. This is really modern day gunboat diplomacy, as we've assembled one carrier group already in the Middle East. We're sending another one there right now, and all of the naval assets and aviation assets that come with that. The Air Force has deployed F-35s and tankers and all of the support elements that go with those things. The president mentioned Diego Garcia and other bases that control some of the strategic weapons. So he's assembling a very large military force right now, and then that usually, historically, in the past 30 years at least, that when the United States does that, it gets used at some level. So the naval assets there will take care of one thing. There's going to be an air defense mission. There's going to be knocking out of air defense systems inside of Iran if we decide to attack. There's going to be protecting Israel as well as if the Iranians decide to fire back, they could fire a volley into Israel that will be potentially devastating for that. So we'll have to protect that. But looking at what the targets are, likely the nuclear targets that exist inside of Iran right now. But again, the armada that's been assembled has been as large as we've seen since 2003. But with one caveat, they're missing the Army. And if the Army's not there, it means there's no ground troops going. There's no boots on the ground, so to speak. So if there is an air war or some kind of air campaign, it'll take place, completely from sea and from the air.
Would you see in a typical scenario where we've seen, staging, if you will, just to put pressure, just for optics? Is this beyond optics and deterrence at this point with the level of deployment that you're seeing, or could this still just be, hey, we're gonna flex our chest a little bit, we're gonna show you we have the military might, we're ready to use it, but still nothing happens and Iran does what's being asked to be done?
Well, we're signaling this is beyond optics at this point, again, with the amount of firepower that's there. And usually also when you put that much equipment in the area, there's an accident that could happen. I mean, if the Iranians decide to preemptively strike the U.S., for example, they have submarines that could get underneath and possibly destroy one of our naval assets that exists there. I'm not sure they can get to the carrier, but they could, like a destroyer or a cruiser or something. So that would be a tremendous mistake they'd make on their side. I think that would just open the door for the United States to go after the Iranian Navy, for example. But no, when we put these kinds of assets there in the region, it's a little bit more than just performative. The second carrier group just brings just an incredible amount of firepower and protection of the force, which I think is going to be another important mission, and as well as protection of Israel.
And clearly, this isn't the first time that we've tried to send a message to Tehran or have sent a message to Tehran. Do you see anything different this time around compared to past engagements?
Well, this is, I think, an extension of the mission that we fired back in June in order to take out the initial refinement facility there, the enrichment facility that in Natanz of the Iranians. Three aspects of creating a nuclear weapon. You have to mine uranium ore and get the raw materials. Then the second phase is that enrichment aspect, and we went after that. We got probably 90% of their capacity. There's other centrifuges that are in Iran. Their program is very dispersed. It's underground. It's going to be difficult to just completely wipe it out. And then that last thing is weaponization of it, and that's something that they can do easily because of their ballistic missile program. This administration's going after all of it. It's going after the ballistic missiles. They want them to be off the table, and then they also want no real enrichment of any kind of nuclear capability there, which from an Iranian perspective is a no-go, which is where we're at the stalemate we are.
Critics will say that the president ran on a campaign of peace and no wars, and he didn't believe in being in any of these wars. Is what's happening now toward Tehran and Iran and this program, can you separate those two? Can you talk a little bit about what's the separation here? There's a difference between being in a war and then being in something like this that's going on if in fact we do launch again more strikes at these facilities?
We haven't declared war since the World War II, actually. Korea and Vietnam, nothing has been a declaration of war from that legal perspective. That means something
Right.
that's only Congress can do. You
Right.
know that. But what I think this will be, it'll be an air campaign that will be under the requirements of the War Powers Act. So the president will have 48 hours to report to Congress as what he's done. That act that was initiated after Vietnam in the 1970s was basically allowed to see presidents go to war, but they can't stay at war. So he could start this conflict with an attack inside of Iran and reports back to Congress. He's got, I think, 30 to 60 days in order to Congress to approve war, or those troops have to come out, which would mean no more attacks in that inside of Iran there. But declaring war, we'll see what Iran does. We'll see what their response to this is going to be. Again, I just don't think they're going to sit back. This could be a situation, though, where a kinetic response from us could trigger an inside revolution. And in this case, we haven't seen that very successful. If you again look back in history of the past 50 years, and that's probably more of a hope plan than it is a really good plan. But I think there's generational fault lines that exist inside of Iran right now. With the younger generation is tired of what the older generation has done to the country,
Which
and
we've seen them speak up in past several months. We've seen the uprising and protests and things of that nature, which the Iranian government has also squashed.
yeah, that's right. And think about that same generational fault line exists in their military. So when the revolution does take place internally, the army and the Revolutionary Guards in particular will have a say as to what happens. And take it a step further, if there's the generational fault line that exists within the military itself, the younger captains and majors and privates and sergeants are not going to be interested in hanging from rafters because when the revolution does take place, they're going to go after the colonels and the generals that caused the problem to begin with. So we've seen that in history, and that's going to be an unfortunate aspect of it. So again, if the military decides to stay on the sidelines and not get involved and not start killing civilians, I think that's a positive step.
You talk about the declaration of war. I think folks here in Phoenix or anybody who would see this online, fathers and mothers worry about their sons and daughters who could potentially be deployed in light of something happening here in the coming days, weeks, or months. Iraq, Afghanistan, those conflicts suddenly come back to mind, obviously, for
Sure.
mothers and fathers out there. But no declaration of war doesn't necessarily mean not an extended, a fight. We've seen this historically, although this one at least would appear no boots on the ground. You say, no army deployments.
Right.
We know army units who are deployed overseas and command in different theaters. But when you're talking about the naval aspects of this, the Air Force aspects, the drone capabilities, the tech warfare that would be really in place now, and I think really moving forward, the ground component of this starts kind of waning off. What should the American people who are listening, the fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers here, what kind of concern, I guess, is there that this could be something that gets extended further back in the Middle East,
Yeah.
back where we've already been multiple times?
Well, I could say for the fathers and mothers and siblings out there, I'm vested with you. I have a son in the Navy, not deployed right now over there, but would be in line in light. So, what I could tell you this is, when we do go to war, we focus on protecting the force, and I'm very confident that that'll continue to be a mantra that will resonate through the military. And safety is kind of unusual to say. You could have it in combat, but they'll see it there, and we'll do everything we can to protect our soldiers and sailors, Marines and airmen that are doing these missions. Now, no question, there's high risk, especially for the pilots, likely flying over inside of Iran. But we'll only do that when we're confident we've knocked out the air defense platforms and going to give them every reason to think that they can accomplish that mission. So that's kind of my overall, kind of pitch is to be in the military right now, number one. But number two, this could be kind of like the beginning of the end of some of the conflicts in the Middle East, because Iran is just a tremendous state sponsor of terrorism. If the Iranian government changes and Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and these organizations that are continuously harboring terrorists and creating havoc within the Middle East, that could all end. Iran has no allies. The Chinese are nowhere in sight. The Russians haven't helped them at all. The North Koreans are smart to stay in the sidelines in this one as well. So this could tip in a very favorable way. And again, without those boots on the ground, we won't have to be concerned about U.S. forces being picked off asymmetrically in some kind of global war on terror that'll exist inside of Iran.
And when we look at technology, we've seen it with Ukraine. The use of drones, whether they're store-bought drones that are
Yeah.
$200 or more expensive drones, even in recent military exercises, we've seen Ukrainian pilots with other NATO troops like changing the game. And
Yeah.
so when you're talking about anything with Iran or anything moving forward, the actual warfighting game is changing dramatically right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, innovation is the key right now, and combining artificial intelligence with these weapon systems is even further along. The Israelis did that with the Iron Dome system. They combined shooting down rockets with artificial intelligence. There's no humans that's inside that kill chain that determine whether or not a target is acquired there. But I do think that the drone technology combined with artificial intelligence does change the landscape, and innovation becomes the name of the game. We're not participating. When you think about it, the Iranians are, and the Russians obviously are in the game. And in fact, the Iranians are playing, have a Shahed drone. That's a suicide drone. That's a great threat to our sailors and our soldiers that are in the region there. But no, innovation will continue to lead the way, and we have to outsmart our enemy and be as creative. It was the same excuse that was used in 9/11. We just weren't creative. We didn't just think our enemies were going to take our own commercial airliners and use them against us. And we have to think the same way if we do anything now going forward when it comes to a combat zone.
And we've seen the Iranians use both speedboats and drones to attack ships. Clearly, that could continue, and that could be a tipping point. We've seen speedboats come out, even bump our ships, and we've not done anything. With the amount of firepower and the deployment that is there now,
Yeah.
clearly, if they come out even with speedboats or a drone and claim that they've sunk one of our ships, like we've seen those claims obviously last
Right.
year, which didn't happen. That's their narrative that they have to sell the Iranian people. It could literally take just that one incident to then spark. I mean, that's kind of where I feel like we're at, where the
Yeah.
deployment is so high at this point that if Iran just makes that one small step that
Right.
they think is being
Yeah.
slightly aggressive, it could actually just tip the whole thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that Iran is good at asymmetric naval warfare, if there's such a thing. And that's just that, using small speedboats and small fast movers to try to disrupt and distract our larger ships. It can't necessarily turn on a dime. But I'm
Mhm.
sure the rules of engagement are very specific now, and they're giving, unlike previous administrations, where in fact that these ships were allowed to get very close to our equipment. I'm positive that our rules of engagement are going to allow engaging those potential threats 500 meters out, well within our distance to see them and engage them. And it'll be a little bit of shoot first, ask questions later. But I think that, again, that gets back to protecting the force, which is a priority of the administration.
Two key dates coming up. We have the State of the Union on Tuesday, as we record this, and also the end of the Olympics. Historically, wars and Olympics don't go together. Are we looking at, if any action does happen, not happening until after the Olympics are done, and perhaps the president makes some sort of an announcement during his State of the Union?
No, I think so. The president in the past has put deadlines out in the future, and we've ended up hitting those gates before, he said. But I think the end of the Olympics is probably a bridge too far in terms of starting some kind of conflict that's 8 hours ahead. Here I'm in the East Coast. Further than that, I guess 10 for you there. It would, it's going to happen in the middle of the night, so it'll be in the morning or so, as late at night or into the morning until we get some information as to what is going on there. But I do think that it's not necessarily imminent as well, because I don't think that the Gerald Ford is there. The carrier group is getting there, but to get that military assets, to get them through the Straits of Gibraltar and get them really in position to where they can support, they're just probably not there yet. So I'd give this even past Tuesday, but
Mhm.
probably within the 15 days that the president has said.
And then the American people are going to have a lot of questions about this. From a military standpoint, obviously, politics and military separate entities, church and state, so to speak. Um, is this the right move from a military standpoint if we do go in? If Iran's not going to change their way of doing things when it comes to nuclear armament and enrichment, is this the role of the United States to do this for the world, I guess you could say?
Well, Iran has been a U.S. foreign policy failure for the past 47 years, perhaps the greatest since the end of the Second World War. Nothing, obviously nothing that we lost 56,000 souls in Vietnam, which is a tragedy as well. But this one in particular has affected our lifetime, you and mine, and given what's at stake about the Iranians getting a nuclear weapon and what that would cause in the Middle East, it would cause an arms race inside of that part of the world. Saudi Arabia, Egypt would likely look to get nuclear weapons. From my perspective, I always want to know what the target is. And I think the target becomes the Revolutionary Guard military positions, likely all of the rest of the nuclear capability that they have. Their nuclear capability is well dispersed. It's not necessarily in one location. And so when we went and attacked back in June, we got 90% of that refinement and that enrichment process, but we didn't get necessarily the whole thing. So the military is an extension of foreign policy, and at this point, it's become a hammer. And from my perspective, given where Iran is in the world, if we tried appeasement, Obama, we tried that with all kinds of things of getting Iran to comply. But from their perspective, this is a race to get a bomb, and if they get it, then the world's different. The world has changed, and they're almost close to breakout, which is why I think the administration is making this such a priority right now.
Retired Army Major Mike Lyons, thank you so much for your analysis right now during this time, and hopefully we can reach out to you again and speak to you in the future.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Obviously, for those at home, if you want to go on X, if you are on X, you can also go to MAJ, as in Major Mike Lyons on X as well. Go follow him for any latest updates and analysis there as well. Mike, thank you.